Hello friends, I welcome you in lecture number 4 on partial differential equations. In previous two lectures we have seen how to construct a partial differential equation from a given solution. Now onwards in upcoming lectures we are going to discuss the methods of finding solution of partial differential equations. So our main focus on upcoming lectures is how to find out solutions of partial differential equations. So as I have discussed in lecture number 1, first we will concentrate on first order partial differential equations, and then we will go for second and higher order partial differential equations, because the methods for solution of partial differential equations of first and higher order partial differential equations are different. In first order partial differential equations also we will discuss in two categories. First we will see how to solve Lagrange Cauchy-Linear equation, and then we will go for solving non-linear first order partial differential equations. So in this lecture we are going to discuss how to solve Lagrange Cauchy-Linear equation of first order. So before understanding this method of solving Lagrange Cauchy-Linear equation, we first understand the meaning of Cauchy-Linear differential equation. So a partial differential equation which is linear in the highest derivatives is known as Cauchy-Linear equation. A partial differential equation is called Cauchy-Linear if it is linear in the highest derivatives. So as you can see in equation number 1, highest derivatives are of second order and both the derivatives are in the first degree. So we can say that equation 1 is linear in the highest derivatives. So equation 1 is Cauchy-Linear, and it is not linear because of product of these two derivatives, but it is Cauchy-Linear because it is linear in the highest order derivative. Similarly, if you observe equation 2, here there are two partial derivatives of first order and both are in the first degree. So we can say that equation 2 is also linear in highest derivatives. So equation 2 is also Cauchy-Linear. But if you observe in equation 3, then the partial derivatives of first order appear in equation 3 and they are not having first degree. So therefore equation 3 is not Cauchy-Linear. So in general, if we want to write down the first order Cauchy-Linear partial differential equation, of first order which is Cauchy-Linear must have derivatives in the first degree only. And suppose we are interested in the Cauchy-Linear partial differential equation which contains two independent variables, say x and y, and suppose z is a function of two independent variables, then the first order Cauchy-Linear partial differential equation with two independent variables must have powers of del z by del x and del z by del y 1, and the coefficients of del z by del x and del z by del y must not be functions of del z by del x and del z by del y. So they can be functions of x, y and z, and right hand side is also function of x, y and z. So this is the general form of first order quasi-linear equation, where capital P, Q and R are functions of x, y and z. So that I have written here the general form of first order quasi-linear PDE with two independent variables can be written in this form: capital P into del z by del x plus capital Q into del z by del y equal to capital R into equal to capital R, that is function of x, y and z. And if we use these notations, del z by del x equal to small p, del z by del y equal to small q, then we can write in this form. So our aim is to find out the solution of this first order quasi-linear equation. This equation is known as Lagrange equation or Lagrange's quasi-linear equation. Now if you recall, in lecture number 2 we have seen how to construct partial differential equation by eliminating arbitrary function from a given relation. So we have seen in the last lecture that if we have this type of relation, phi of uv equal to 0, where phi is an arbitrary function and u and v are functions of x, y, z, then the partial differential equation corresponding to this relation is always in this form, where we have defined capital P, Q and R using Jacobian of uv with respect to x, y and z. So now we are going in reverse way. Suppose we are given the Lagrange's quasi-linear equation, then is it true that its general solution is always in this form, that is arbitrary function of uv equal to 0? So the answer is yes. Converse is also true. If your first order partial differential equation is in this form, or if your first order partial differential equation is Lagrange equation, then its general solution is given by phi of uv equal to 0, where phi is an arbitrary function. So in this lecture we are going to find out this type of solution for Lagrange equation. So we have to decide these two functions u and v, and the general solution is phi of uv equal to 0, where u and v are arbitrary functions. So this method is known as Lagrange method for the solution of quasi-linear first order partial differential equation. So suppose we give this equation number 1, then as I discussed, the general solution of this equation 1 is always in this form: arbitrary function of uv equal to 0. And another name for general solution is general integral, where phi is an arbitrary function. And how to find out this small u and v? So if phi is an arbitrary function and u and v form a solution of the equations dx upon p equal to dy upon q equal to dz upon r, where p, q and r are nothing but these coefficients and right hand side. So after solving these equations, which are written in number 3, we can find out this small u and v, and after finding out small u and v, the general solution can be written in this form, where phi is an arbitrary function. So if you want to solve this Lagrange equation, first you have to find out the solution of these equations. These equations are known as Lagrange auxiliary equations. These equations are known as Lagrange auxiliary equation. So this, if you solve these equations, then you will have different types. Sometimes you will be able to find out solutions u and v using these equations by directly comparing any of these, by directly comparing two of any these three fractions. Sometimes we are not able to find out the solution by directly comparing the fractions. Then in that case we have to discuss different methods of solving these auxiliary equations. So depending upon the solution of auxiliary equations, we have divided our Lagrange method into 4 types. So we will discuss all the 4 types one by one, and these 4 types are just for our conveniency, that in which in given Lagrange's auxiliary equations which type is there, and for those types we have different ideas to solve these Lagrange auxiliary equations. So first type is whether it is possible to find out the solution of these Lagrange equations by directly comparing any two of these three fractions. If it is possible, then we can directly find out by comparing these fractions, these functions u and v. And once we find out functions u and v, the general solution is always in this form: phi of uv equal to 0. Sometimes you can write this solution in this form also: u as a function of v or v as a function of u. So it is your choice, either you write in this form or in this form or in this form. It is valid, where phi is an arbitrary function. So now we will discuss how to solve these Lagrange auxiliary equations to find out these two functions u and v. So we discuss this with the help of examples, and these equations 3 are known as auxiliary equations or Lagrange subsidiary equations. And as I discuss, I can write down this general solution: phi of uv equal to 0, either in this form: u as a function of v or v as a function of u, where phi is an arbitrary function. So we discuss one example on Lagrange method of solving. So here, if you compare this equation with Lagrange equation, capital P into small p plus capital Q into small q equal to r, if we compare this equation with Lagrange equation, we obtain capital P equal to small x, capital P is small y, and capital R equal to z. So we start by writing Lagrange auxiliary equations. So they are dx upon p equal to dy upon q equal to dz upon r. So we put values of p, q and r in these equations, and we obtain this: dx upon x equal to dy upon y equal to dz upon z. These are Lagrange auxiliary equations. Now if you observe these equations, it is easy to compare any two fractions or ratios and to find out the solution. So suppose we compare fractions 1 and 2. So taking first two fractions of 1, we have dx upon x equal to dy upon y. So this is ordinary differential equation of first order which is separable. And as we know, if our differential equation is separable, we can find out its solution by direct integration. So if we integrate both sides, we get log x equal to log y plus log c1. This is just for conveniency. If you wish, you can write c1 also. Now log y plus log c1 is log of y into c1 using property of logarithm. So we obtain log x equal to log of y into c1, therefore x equal to y into c1, because logarithmic function is 1 function. Therefore x upon y equal to c1. That means the first solution is u equal to x by y. Now for second solution we have two choice. Either we can compare second and third fraction or third and first fractions. So here we have taken second and third fractions. Taking last two fractions of 1, we have dy upon y equal to dz upon z. This is also separable. So if we integrate, we obtain log y equal to log z plus log c2. And this is by property of logarithm log of z into c2. So from this we obtain y equal to z into arbitrary constant c2. Therefore y by z equal to c2. So this is second solution, v equal to y divided by z, and the general solution is function of uv equal to 0, where u equal to x by y and v equal to y by z. So general solution is phi of x by y comma y by z equal to 0, where phi is an arbitrary function. So in this way we can solve Lagrange auxiliary equations by comparing directly. So here it is possible to find out the solutions u and v by directly comparing given fractions, but it will not always be possible. So in that cases we will discuss some another types of solving these Lagrange auxiliary equations. We take one more example in which also we are able to compare the fractions. Solve 10x into small p plus 10y into small q equal to 10z. So you can see it is in this form: capital P into small p plus capital Q into small q equal to r. So therefore given equation is Lagrange equation, and Lagrange auxiliary equations are dx divided by coefficient of del z by del x, that is 10x, equal to dy divided by coefficient of small q, that is 10y, and dz upon right hand side, that is 10z. So here also we have three different choices. We can take these two or these two or these two. Suppose we take first two fractions of 1, then we obtain dx upon 10x equal to dy upon 10y, and this I can rewrite as cot x, 1 upon 10x is cot x, 1 upon 10y is cot y. So this is also separable. So if we integrate, we get log sin x equal to log sin y plus log c1. As we know, integral of cot x is log sin x plus c. So therefore integral of cot x is log sin x, integral of cot y is log sin y plus log c1. And if we combine this, I will obtain log c1 into sin y. Therefore sin x equal to sin y, or we can write sin x by sin y equal to c1. So u equal to sin x divided by sin y is equal to c1. So this is the value of u. Similarly, you can compare any of these two fractions and find out another solution. As I have taken first and third fractions, so dx upon 10x equal to dz upon 10z, that means cot x dx equal to cot z dz, which is separable, and if we integrate, we obtain ln sin x equal to ln sin z plus ln c2, and this we can rewrite as log of c2 into sin z. And if we compare first and last expressions, we obtain sin x equal to C2 sin z, therefore sin x upon sin z equal to C2. This is another function small v. Hence the general solution is function of sin x by sin y, that is v u, comma function of v, that is sin x by sin z equal to 0. If you wish, you can write your solution in this form also, and phi is an arbitrary function. So this is the way how we solve Lagrange auxiliary equations. In this lecture we have started type 1 of solving Lagrange equation. In the next lecture we will see another types, that how to solve Lagrange equations using those 3 different types. So I hope you like this lecture. Thank you very much.